Check, 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 check. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Today we're going to be talking about first-time home buyer programs here. So give us just a moment to go live on all the different platforms. We appreciate everybody tuning in nice and early. Go ahead and drop a comment there in the chat as you tune in. Happy Monday, everyone. Amazing day for the mortgage industry here. All kinds of good stuff going on. We'll get to it shortly. All right. Looks like we are live on all the platforms, so we'll go ahead and get it started here. What we'll do is we'll take the chat off the screen for now, but go ahead and keep dropping comments there in the chat. And you can also drop any questions you have in the chat as we go through our deep dive topic here later today. All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our president, Nick Hershey, and our sales manager, Jose Gonzalez. We are a lender that specializes in non-QM loans. And what we do every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern on the show is go through our actual live mortgage rates, and then we do a deep dive into a different loan type. Today's loan topic is going to be first-time home buyer loans. So Jose will pull up some cool programs for that. But before that, let's see what the rates are looking like. So Nick, if you're ready, let's go ahead and pull up the rates. Definitely interesting to see all the great activity happening recently.
All right. So not so great news for the markets, but that's good news for rates here. So lots of activity, tons of activity last week, and tons more already this morning in our favor, which is absolutely amazing. So we'll pull up all the programs today and compare the rates. For today, it is August 5th, just after 11 a.m. Eastern. So all the initial rate sheets are live for our standard programs here. We will compare the APR across the programs. If you'd like a full breakdown and itemized loan estimate of all the itemized fees that go into the APR, please get with our team members. We have over 300 loan officers to help you out. For our demo, as we do every day, we'll set up a basic scenario so we can compare all the programs. We will set a single-family home. First off, standard single-family home. We'll set an estimated purchase price of $500,000, estimated loan amount of $400,000. That means 20% down payment, 80% loan to value for all the demos here. We'll use a 760 estimated credit score and an estimated 40% debt to income ratio. So with those basic settings, let's check the options for today. Absolutely amazing. Tons of movement even from yesterday. And we're well over 1% lower across the board on everything than we were just a month ago. Absolutely amazing. First up, 30-year fixed conventional for a primary home. This is typically the most common option that most people think of when they think of a mortgage. Standard mortgage coming in today, 5.875, absolutely amazing. APR, 6.195. Just a month ago, we were over 7 on the APR. So some amazing news for all our customers. Many of our customers that couldn't qualify yesterday or last week or last month can now qualify today. So absolutely amazing. Now, if for any reason our customer doesn't qualify at these lower rates for conventional, sometimes we may need to switch to an FHA option. FHA allows more leniency on credit issues, as well as a much higher debt to income ratio, but does require upfront and yearly mortgage insurance. So rates come in today, absolutely amazing. We haven't seen a 4 in many months. 4.99 for FHA. Final APR with all of the fees comes in at 5.924. So notice if our customer qualifies for both, FHA could be a touch cheaper in some examples, but does require that mortgage insurance. So our customer needs to consider that. But definitely a great option for our customers that need to use it, as very comparable and could possibly even be cheaper than conventional in some cases. Now moving on to our VA programs. VA is only for eligible veterans and active service members. If you are eligible, definitely use that eligibility. These programs are amazing. Rates today come in at 5.125. Final APR with a standard funding fee, 5.426. So notice if our customers shopping, VA is going to blow FHA and conventional out of the water. So definitely take advantage if you are eligible. And moving down to our final standard option here, USDA is a government program that is only for properties that are in USDA areas, the rural areas of the country. So if our customer qualifies and the property qualifies, these are good options. Rates for USDA come in at 5.375, final APR 6.101 with all of the fees included. So for some reason, USDA hasn't quite updated this morning, so it's a touch more expensive than FHA, but I imagine that will stabilize. Normally it's a touch cheaper, and it is still a touch cheaper than conventional for our customers that are shopping in those areas. Definitely keep an eyeball on that USDA. It does tend to update a little bit after the other programs. Now that rounds out our standard options here that any other bank or lender will have. And if our customer doesn't qualify, most other banks or lenders have to deny them. That's where we love to start presenting our 5,000 additional options, starting here with our non-QM alt doc options. So if our customer doesn't qualify with tax returns, full doc as required for conventional, needs to use alternative docs, we have programs using bank statements, 1099s, P&Ls, all kinds of different options. This option here, the lowest rate option, is typically a bank statement option, coming in today at 6.625 rate. Final APR 6.964. So it's come down a little bit. I expect these non-QM rates to update even more. They usually take 24 to 48 hours after the standard programs update to move. So we will see this go down quite a bit. We're still within about 0.7 of the conventional, which has reacted substantially this morning. Later today or maybe tomorrow, we'll see these come within a half a point as usual. Now moving on to our investors. Tons of flexibility for investors, especially with non-QM. First up is our alt doc option. Again, bank statement or similar for an investment property, coming in today at 7.125 rate. Final APR 7.453. And we'll compare that to our other options for investment properties. Remember, there are no government options, so no FHA, VA, or USDA, but we do have our conventional option for investment properties. Already updated rates this morning, coming in pretty hot. Rates today as low as 6.875, final APR 7.211. So that's better than our alt doc options, which is pretty typical. But we always recommend our investors check out our favorite programs, our DSCR. No employment needed, no income needed. We simply use the estimated rents from the appraisal to determine a DSCR ratio. If the estimated rents can cover the expenses, aka the property is going to cash flow, that's a ratio of 1 or higher, which is preferred. For these demos, we use a ratio of 1.5 so we can see all the programs pop up. First up, our standard 3-year prepayment penalty, rates as low as 6.625 today. Final APR 6.939. So great option, beating our conventional still with DSCR, absolutely amazing. And we can sweeten the deal even more with a 5-year prepay that some of our programs allow. Rates as low as 6.375, final APR 6.669. And I expect these rates to drop even more later today and tomorrow as non-QM reacts with the markets a little bit in arrears there. And the final DSCR option is a no prepayment penalty option. Some states do not allow a prepay and some investors don't want one. Not a problem. Rates today coming at 7.125, final APR 7.466. So it's a touch more expensive than conventional to do a DSCR with no prepay, but I'd still say 100% of investors would take a DSCR option because of the ease and flexibility. Now moving on to our unique programs here, our 30-year fixed second mortgage options. So a lot of our customers still have a low rate first mortgage, lower than the rates you see here, and need cash out. No problem. Don't have to take the rates that are lower today than they were the other day, but still a good option to keep that first mortgage and get cash out with a second mortgage rather than a HELOC. So a 30-year fixed second mortgage for a primary home, we can get cash out at rates as low as 8.5, final APR 8.944. And these are non-QM programs, so we can use bank statements, P&Ls, etc. And same option for our investors. HELOCs are very rare for investors, so this is a very good option. 30-year fixed second mortgage to get cash out of an investment property without touching that first mortgage. Rates as low as 9.875. Final APR 10.063. So that rounds out our standard options we go over every day. But today we're going to talk about some of the specific programs we have for first-time home buyers, especially as the markets have shifted. We now have millions of more people who were not able to qualify yesterday now can qualify today, right? So all of our loan officers out there, make sure you touch base with all of your customers who are first-time home buyers and may have been priced out of the market because of price. Prices are alleviating in many markets, but also the rates alleviating can qualify much more customers for even the same house that they couldn't qualify for yesterday. They can now qualify for today. So we have some special programs here for those people that were on the fence and now can jump into the markets. So Jose, what do we have for these first-time home buyers? Also, make sure you let them know that what the first-time home buyer is first, because it's not what they might think.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Daily Mortgage Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Yes, the 10-year Treasury is dropping like a rock. Good news for us in the mortgage industry. So let me get into what a first-time home buyer is, right? A first-time home buyer is a borrower that has not owned a property in the last 3 years, has not been on title on a property that they may have co-signed for somebody for, all of those things count, right? So if they're on title because they were just a co-signer or whatever it may be within the last 3 years, even if they are not on title right now, then they are not considered a first-time home buyer. However, the first-time home buyer status is one which is thrown around quite a bit for a lot of the high LTV programs. So a lot of borrowers mistakenly believe that the high LTV programs that we have, like the FHA loans, for example, are for first-time home buyers only, and that's absolutely not the case. Those are programs for primary residences only, but many times people confuse one for the other. So let me go ahead and share the options for you, and I'll clearly explain what each one is as we're going over it. Because what I'm going to go over today is options that are popular and the best options for first-time home buyers. Because remember, first-time home buyers are buying their first home, which means they're not selling one right now that has a whole lot of equity that they're going to be rolling over into the next home. That's what they're going to do on the next purchase. In this first purchase, they're having to basically save up all of the money or get it from different sources other than equity from the pending sale of a home, or else they would not be a first-time home buyer. So this first option that I'm sharing here is the only true first-time home buyer option that I'm going to be sharing with you. The rest of the options are high LTV options that are perfect for first-time home buyers. But this one is a 3% down conventional loan for first-time home buyers only. This option at 3% down does not have any type of income limitation, income restriction. The only catch is that you do have to be a first-time home buyer to be able to come in with this particular 3% down option. So you will notice here 6.624 is the lowest cost option. You can buy that down to 5.75%. As our lowest rate option. And I will point down to you over here, the mortgage insurance amount is $146. It was $145 and change. The system rounded it up to $146. So the reason I'm showing you that is because the next option here is an affordable, a conventional affordable home loan option. This one happens to be Fannie Mae's Home Ready. So we put it as a first-time home buyer category only because of the benefits that it affords the borrower, which is basically coming in at 3% down as long as you are at 80% or less than the area median income, the HUD area median income, unless the property is in a low to moderate income census tract or a minority income census tract, then the income limitations are removed. Now, why is all of that important? Well, because this program, its affordable nature, provides below market interest rates, as you can see right there, and it also provides the MI. So here you see the mortgage insurance is $117, whereas the other option was $146. And you do notice here now, we have our lowest cost option is actually 6% at par, and we can buy that down to 5.625% at a cost of 1.625 points. So that's substantially lower than this option, which was 6.624 at par, right? So we went down almost 0.75%. And excuse me a minute, my screen froze. So let's give it a second for it to catch back up a second here. Sorry about that, folks. Just give it a minute. So this is, like I was saying, our home ready option. Now, while the screen catches up with what we were displaying, please note that in order to see if your borrower qualifies for this program, you need to go to the Fannie Mae AMI, Area Median Income Lookup tool, and then plug in the property address and see what the area median income is for that property location, and then see if you are at 80% or under the area median income. Sorry about this inconvenience, folks. Just waiting for it to unlock my screen here. Here we go. We are good now. So I can share back my USDA screen. So the other, I had showed you the first time home buyer conventional 3% down affordable option. Right now, this is our FHA option. Now, this is one of the big ones that most people misunderstand it to be a first time home buyer option. FHA is the biggest one that falls in that category. FHA is a primary residence only option, which is why many people mistakenly think it is for first time home buyers only. So here we're looking at 5.75 is our lowest cost option at par, which is amazing. And we can buy that down to 5% at a cost of 2.375 points. Now, USDA is another option very popular with our first-time home buyers because of the high LTV, whereas FHA goes to 96.5%, meaning 3.5% down payment. USDA does go to 100% LTV. The only requirement is that the property fall within a USDA location when you look in the USDA geocoder. So you're looking at 6.25 is our lowest cost option with a lender credit of 0.5 point. And you can buy that down to 5.375 at a cost of 2.25 points. And now adding a couple of extra twists to our journey here, our FHA forgivable down payment assistance. This is very popular with our first-time home buyers. However, remember, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer for FHA, and even better, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer for this down payment assistance option. And the beautiful thing is that, look at this here, you are almost at par now at 8.75. So this is for our full 3.5% forgivable. This one, you do not have to make a payment on the second mortgage, and after 60 payments, it is forgiven 3.5% of the purchase price. Lowest cost option 8.75. You can buy that down to 8.125. So that was our forgivable option. Now the repayable option does have a lower interest rate and lower cost. And look at that. You actually have a par option for the repayable. So now we're really talking, this is an amazing deal where your borrower is going to get 3.5% of the purchase price as a repayable down payment assistance, which is at a 9.99% rate, 30-year amortization, 10-year balloon, which means after 10 years, you have to pay it off. But chances are you would have refinanced that loan along with the first loan way before then. And you can buy that down all the way to 6.75 at a cost of 1.75 points. And I am sorry again, folks, my screen again locked up. So our last option is a USDA down payment assistance, but I don't think I'm going to be able to share that one with you today. But it is a forgivable option at very similar rates to the regular USDA. It's basically 8.75. Actually, it's 8.75% is the lowest cost option on the USDA down payment assistance and it is a forgivable option. So you do get 100% financing with the USDA loan, and then you do get 3.5% down payment assistance, which actually should help you pay most of your closing costs. And it is at a cost of 1.375 points. That would be 8.75 at a cost of 1.375 points for your USDA option. That's great for first-time home buyers with down payment assistance. So that is my last option that I'm sharing, and I do apologize for the screen locking up and not showing the graph on that one.
All right, thank you, Jose. Great options and great rates. So exciting time right now. Let's go ahead and wrap it up because I do not see any questions. So we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. We do this at 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday where we go through the live rates and then do a deep dive into a different topic. So we will see you all tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the next episode of Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage